this comes to the dunk contest, and I mean, just to put it right out there, I mean, a lot of people have been calling it the best dunk contest of all time, better than '88, better than 2000, better duel, better dunks um, than Jordan and Neek did. J.A. Ononde said that in an ESPN article, which I thought was kind of a rubbish article. Even if I didn't disagree with the overall assessment, I thought it was usual ESPN, uh, BSPN,
Yeah.
shall I say. It was argued almost as poorly as Jameel Hill's Kobe is better than Jordan. If you don't think so, you're a hater. Logic. And here's Sharon Wright, the big bust from the 1994 draft. He thinks Kobe's better too. So his opinion, he played in the NBA. Yeah, terribly.
No
you
one
know,
even remembers him.
it was I don't even remember what pick he was in the draft. Possibly fourth. I'll look that up when I hand the mic over to you, just to satisfy my own curiosity now. But it was all anyway. It was almost that bad as far as is up there with Kelly Dwyer saying that anyone who didn't enjoy the All Star game is again just blinded by nostalgia. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Nevertheless, I do actually kind of agree with J.A. Ononde, even if he did word the argument very poorly, in my opinion. I think this was one of the greatest dunk contests of all time. I'd put it up there with '88 and 2000, and I think with a bit more time to reflect on it, I'd feel quite comfortable in saying this is arguably, quite possibly, the best dunk contest because what a finale! What dunks! What amazing dunks we saw!
And the fact that, it went into extra rounds and these guys had
Yeah,
to come up with dunks.
two tiebreakers. Two tiebreakers.
Wasn't it 3?
I'm just looking. It's got they've got 4 scores
Okay.
in the dunk contest. I'm just looking at on Wikipedia. It's got 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 for Zach LaVine. The most 50s ever handed out in one contest. Eight 50s.
So that shows the competitiveness of it. I mean, even some of aside from Will really no thrill Barton's attempts and that.
The first one was okay, and then the second one, we didn't even get the second one down.
No, so aside from that hiccup, they were generally entertaining and good dunks. It was definitely better than last year's in terms of like the early rounds, and then it just got better and it was just phenomenal in terms of that, and especially when they had to think on the fly and then outdo each other. I think yes, one of the best ones, that's for sure. I think in ways, Gordon's dunk was the one where he cocks it behind his head and then brings it down like Baby Jordan and then does a reverse. That was a 2-in-1 dunk.
You couldn't really see what happened because when he first did it, I thought,
Just-
nice dunk, but it's just a double pump
Yeah.
reverse. And then when you see that he sort of faked going one way and then did the other and then back again,
Yeah.
it's one of those ones that you have to see it in slow motion to appreciate. And those dunks always seem to screw players over, sadly,
Yeah.
in the dunk contest, which I guess makes sense because you got to see it in real time you got to know what they did, sort of thing. That's why.
Yeah, and argument's sake, the round before where Gordon did what I call the cog dunk because it worked like clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
the rotating stuff.
Yeah, and basically there was 3 rotating points in terms of obviously the mascot, and then you had Gordon doing the 360 spin, but then he also kind of windmilled it, so his arms were in also. So that's why I was referring it to the cog because it was.
Yeah, and did the mailman.
Yeah.
Hand on the back of the head, a special delivery on top of everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, these were some amazing dunks.
Yep.
And the one where he went over and put it under both legs and was sitting in the air. They did you see that? I think it might have been ESPN
The Sports Science,
or Sports Science.
He would have won bronze in the
2012 Olympics with that high jump. Admittedly, his feet weren't that high. His feet would have knocked the bar with that in that position. But that's how high he can jump.
Yeah.
So it was an impressive dunk. Stuff that hasn't come. People are a bit down on Zach LaVine, but the behind the back off the bounce, the windmill from the free throw line, the The between the legs from.
And the
Okay,
alley and the alley from the free throw line.
yeah, and okay, so maybe not all of them were as far back as Jordan, Brent Barry. Some of Jordan's, a couple of Jordans were further back. The ones that it's funny, the furthest ones that Jordan jumped from are the ones that aren't shown. It's always that last one in '88 where he was the closest inside the line.
Yeah.
In '87 and '85 he was actually closer to being behind the line and kind of on it. Serge Ibaka was behind the line when he did his in when did he, was it 2012, 2013, something like that, when he competed?
Yeah,
2014?
I think so.
So,
At least,
I
he
mean,
didn't try and do a Josh Smith from like a foot or two behind.
oh, yeah, yeah. Well, the point is, even it's close enough to the line, and it's still a basic idea of a free throw line
Yeah.
within a foot of the free throw line, either way, a step or whatever inside the line, doing the alley oop, or it's a variation, and that's what I liked. No silly gimmicks. The biggest gimmick is jumping over something, which I think when you do it like they did is impressive, or how Aaron Gordon did, I should say, is impressive. Variations on old dunks, new ideas. I'm sick of people saying the dunk contest is back. Sometimes there's off years, but we've had some nice contests in the last decade or so. But this one, you kind of give people a pass on saying it because it was an amazing dunk contest. It's the most exciting in years. And even if some of the arguments about the old contests are selling them a bit short, no, this is right up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's right up there. It's, I think I said it. I tweeted out, and you and I were talking about it on Messenger, after it happened, and said, that's right up there. That's basically, I keep saying it. I mean, I said that's legitimately one of the best dunk contests.
Yeah. I mean,
and you can put it right up there with all the other ones because it's like you said, the final round, the dunk offs, and it wasn't one of those stupid things where we had a dunk off because Kenny Smith looked across and changed his score, like he did to Andre Iguodala in 2006.
Yeah.
And I know people were a bit down on the judges, but yeah, maybe Aaron Gordon should have won. But when it came down to it, Zach LaVine probably had the best tiebreaker dunks. So it's not who had the best performance overall. It's kind of who had to get that last tiebreaker dunk. And unfortunately, he attempted that one, like you say, the Baby Jordan mix
with Dominic,
remix kind of dunk.
Yep.
For lack of a better word, for that amazing dunk. The sort of the tomahawk into the double pump reverse. Unfortunately, that didn't get the score that perhaps he was hoping for. Obviously, hoping for, but it's cliche to say, but we all won from that dunk contest. We saw an amazing dunking display in a event that a lot of people are down on and always saying, "Oh, we should cancel it. It's not exciting anymore." They brought the excitement, and I want to see a rematch.
Yeah, I'm automatic entry next year for those two guys. They have to go again and sort of see what they could do. And yeah, it antes it up for next year. I think Westbrook said he'd go in it if he could dunk over Shaq.
Okay.
That was in a post All-Star Game Sunday interview, and that he'd go in it if he could dunk over Shaq.
I'm just reading a late-breaking rumor that LeBron James has entered his name and immediately withdrawn it. So, yeah, the ship has definitely sailed on that one. Maybe not Westbrook, but certainly LeBron.
Yeah. And I mean, like,
any other thoughts on the? I mean, I've said it all. That was amazing. I rank it right up there. That's one of my favorite dunk contests ever, easily.
Yep. I think for me, early stages, like when they'll get introed and all that stuff, I was kind of worried, especially like with the Thriller dance attempt that when the camera kept panning and it was just kind of awkward. And it was like,
Yep.
And then even when Gordon came out in like the Magic suit and all that stuff, I was kind of a little bit worried. It's like, oh, this could end badly. And I think the crowd, the first round, were really pensive until LaVine came out because they knew it was a certainty that he was going to put on a show.
Yeah.
I think it was the second.
Yeah.
I think it was sort of the second round. Was like, okay, we might have a show, and then obviously, third and fourth round, and then from there it was like, holy crap, yes, we got a show, all right.
And I was so glad that there was cut down on gimmicks. It was basically just the intros, and then it was tricks with the ball,
Yep.
creativity with the actual dunking. So it was fantastic, absolutely amazing. And it's funny because they were talking. The commentators were like, "Oh, let's put the all the NBA and TNT guys were like, oh, we should have the 3-point contest on last.
Yeah,
Dunk
yeah.
contest to be, and then boom, they just blow it away. Like, nope, that should be the main event."